Vito's hitting his shot like he was tonight. How much better is the team overall, and how much does it make your job easier in terms of just finding him in open space and maybe being allowed to dribble into the lane and penetrate, find yourself some easy baskets?
Makes my job a lot easier and makes our team a lot better. Being a dual threat like that, being able to come off the ball screen, and if they're trying to key on me or pressure me, then I always have a guy to throw it back to who can either roll or pop and hit a jump shot, kind of like the luxury we have with Frank.
Jeff?
For Zach and Bronson, you guys have both experienced going over video of a game you lost, critiquing things, and preparing for the next game. Was the last 24 hours any different than previous times, or was it a little bit different because coming off the Final Fours and losing to a team that I think most people expected you to handle comfortably?
I mean, obviously, we're not really used to losing, especially the first home opener and stuff like that. So it was a little bit different, but it wasn't any different in the context of watching film and breaking everything down. And our coaches don't sugarcoat anything, so they tell us what we need to do and stuff like that. And I thought we had a great day of practice, defensively at least, and we came out tonight with more energy.
Yeah, he pretty much hit on it. Our preparation, as you guys know, is the same. We didn't change much. Looked at the clips, and then we prepared for these guys. It's a crazy. This stretch is crazy, back to back to back in 6 days. So you can't spend too much time looking on the past. So it was a quick turnaround, and luckily we responded.
Zach. Vito, you finished Friday night's game pretty well. Did you take some of what you were able to do at the end of that game and carry it over momentum-wise for you in this one?
Yeah, I don't know if I would call it momentum-wise, but I kind of went back and watched the tape and looked at why the second half of the first game was more successful than the first half, and I kind of tried to do those same things earlier on this game.
Sure.
Vito, over to your left. I know you've heard this before, but sometimes you get sped up a little bit too much. Bo used the analogy that they raised the speed limit on the highways to 70, so you figure you got to go that fast now.
Right.
Were you more comfortable tonight in terms of either shooting right away or just being a little more patient for the most part?
Yeah, that was definitely a point of emphasis after the first game. And I still need work on it. I still had some turnovers from going too fast, but I think overall I did a better job of slowing down and letting the game come to me, and like you said, being quick when I needed to be.
Vito and Zach, Zach mentioned the back-to-back-to-back. Was that good in a way that you didn't have to sit there and think about Friday night very long? You kind of were forced to move on pretty quickly?
Yeah, I think one of the first thoughts that went through my head after that game was, thank God we got another game in 2 days to prove ourselves. Obviously, that was pretty embarrassing, but we know what we got and what we're capable of, and I think we responded pretty well.
Also allowed us to immediately put into practice what we had just, went over after that first loss. So, going back and looking at what we did wrong and then working on it that next day in practice and then being able to put it right in today was good.
Zach, you had that putback dunk at the end of the first half. How important was it to not only get that for some more momentum and push the lead, I think it was 15 at half, but to come back at the beginning of the second half and really have the foot down on the pedal to push the game wide open?
Yeah, last game we were up 7 at half and came out those first 4 minutes. You want to come out those 4 minutes strong every game, and obviously I think we learned our lesson that you got to kind of put it on them, and that momentum carried us a little bit. But I mean that's a lot better to do that in the second half than what we did last week.
Over on the right.
Bronson, after the game on Friday, you talked a little about perimeter defense and guys having issues with moving their feet. How would you assess the defensive performance tonight, in particular on the perimeter?
Like I said before, I mean, our coaches do a great job of breaking down the film and showing us what we needed to work on, and I thought we had a great day of practice on the defensive end, and just the little things like staying in a stance and just being in gaps and stuff like that. And I thought we did a better job today because, I mean, you couldn't really get much worse than Friday. So we still got a long ways to go, though.
Anything else for the players? All right. Thanks, guys.